Hello, I'm Toycat and welcome back to a video. Today I'm showing you some weird builds in Minecraft and explaining exactly why I have them in my world, because the thing is I have this one world that I use for all my creative videos, which is the bulk of videos on this channel, and basically as a result of this, a lot of people ask about the builds they see in the background, like, oh Toycat, why is the Nether Quartz cube not finished? Or, oh Toycat, why are those giant towers there? They seem really out of place. But the biggest questions I get all the time that I wanted to address in today's video is, oh Toycat, why do you have that build that's so weird over there? And some of these I just had to kind of explain because they've been, overtaking the comment section of the videos they're on for a while. So yeah, here are 5 of the weirdest builds in my creative world and the story behind why they exist. So hopefully you do all enjoy today's video. If you do like it and let me know, because it helps out the channel a lot and lets me know you do like the weird builds, because again, it seems like I'm almost known for them at this point. But let's get straight into it already, shall we? And let's start with the 5th kind of weird one, and this is one that came up a lot because basically black one-legged Steve, robot black one-legged Steve, that's kind of a mouthful to say, isn't it? But yeah, basically robot black one-legged Steve was actually the kind of base for my operations in the Let's Play world at some point, and I figured I'd explain exactly why I have a one-legged Steve, why, and why it looks like this, and all these sorts of questions, because it is a very bizarre thing, I do realise. So let's just start by explaining that at one point I was really into making skin statues. I made one for, my IBX Toycat skin, the old one anyway. I made one for the Ocelot in my Let's Play world, and I also made this one in a tutorial teaching you how to make skins, because you just look at your skin and each pixel can be one block, and boom, you get a really nice skin character. However, when I was making the tutorial, I only made one leg, because I was like, I don't want to make the second one. There's so much wool required, and then at some point I just realized, oh, I've got a one-legged character. That's kind of that. And then I believe after the tutorial I was like, well, we could just do the exact same thing, but replace the, the regular Steve color with black, because I had 2 Steves at the time, I think. And boom, we've got black one-legged Steve. And then since I figured, these eyes look kind of weird anyway, let's make them look like it's a robot and put a control center in here. And that is how we ended up with robot black one-legged Steve. It actually all does make sense. I'd like to believe all these stories do. But yeah, basically the reason I had to stop, kind of showing this off in videos, and the reason I stopped, making it my base, is because a lot of people would say stuff like, oh, Toycat, why are you calling him Black Steve? He's just Steve. And it's like, I don't know if I'm actually being racist here, but I'm pretty sure that it's not just racist to call this black one-legged Steve. But just in case, because so many people were saying it and I didn't understand it, I was like, whatever, we just won't show this guy off. But he does show up in the background every now and then, and people are like, Toycat, what's that all about? Also, why does he have bone poking out of his leg? And that's the story behind all of that. So yeah, with that said, let's move on to the I guess the 4th of the builds. So we're going like top 5 order almost. But yeah, the 4th weirdest build in the world is actually the panda and the chicken. It's a weird kind of section over here. I guess it's next to the YouTube comments about a house, which most of you actually do in this story up. It's just a bizarre little thing. But yeah, basically, we have a panda and we have a chicken next to each other, and it's really, really bizarre, especially given that the chicken is here to annoy people. So you probably saw this video because it's pretty recent. I made a video on how to annoy builders, and this is the most, annoying thing to look at for a lot of builders. People just like, oh, kill it, kill it, kill it. And fortunately, it does have a self-destruct button, so just for you, everyone that gets annoyed by that, guess what? We're going to kill the chicken again. And here's the ugly chicken 1 minute, and then it's gone the next minute. Also blew up a bit of the panda, but that's fine. Anyway, let's talk about why the panda's here, because I built the panda originally for one of the, the mentioned features videos, because Dinamone has mentioned how he'd love to have pandas in the game, and I figured, we're going to build a panda. And I really do like how the panda turned out. It looks pretty good if you ask me, but one of the things about the panda that, I guess, a lot of people, kind of question if you see it from different angles, is stuff like, Toycat, what's up with the panda's rear end? Or like, Toycat, why is this bit of the panda weird or that bit? So I just figured I'd explain exactly what's going on here, including why the legs are kind of like chest holes. So basically what I was going to do at one point is I was going to make a tutorial on how to, build a panda house. Because I figured one of the coolest ideas for a house when I was talking about like loads of weird house concepts was, why don't you just build a house inside a panda? So I was going to do like a step-by-step tutorial, but then I realized, people might not like that. I got bummed out by the idea because I was like, people probably won't like it. They'll be like, Toycat, I don't need a panda house. So yeah, I never did do, also that block's falling over and over again. But yeah, I never did do a panda house build tutorial, but I do have the panda, which I did convert into a house somewhat, sort of, I guess there's more work to be done, and yeah, it's a really cute little panda next to not so much of a cute chicken. So yeah, with that said, let's move on to the next story here, and this is where things start to get a little bit worse, because next up, we have the angry Mexican giant free-wielding, or triple-wielding zombie. So yeah, this is another story that actually kind of comes up recently, but it's like kind of 2 stories mixed together, because the thing about this world is I do build on top of my builds recently, a lot, sorry, I should say, say. So if you look at this tower, for instance, it's then been built to the side off by a giant zombie, which I then put triple wielding on somewhat recently. So yeah, the story behind this is I was like, oh, I want to make a baby zombie. I don't actually know how to make a baby zombie though. So what I figured I'd do instead to make the baby zombie is just make a giant zombie next to him. So make a regular sized zombie and then make one that's double as big, using the same skin statue technique I used over there. And yeah, I actually did something wrong with the zombie, so it doesn't look that way. But then I had a giant zombie anyway. I was like, you know what? Since this doesn't really matter, we don't need a normal face, and I goofed that one up so hard anyway, let's just make the face look as derpy as possible. So it looks like, you know, the ridiculous, like, you know, ones you see in animations. It looks slightly Mexican. I don't know if that's a weird thing to say, but you can see super ridiculous looking zombie. He even has a mustache and some angry eyes. And then also he's triple wielding because it was from one of the terrible Minecraft suggestion videos that you've probably seen already. And yeah, as a result of that, we have a triple wielding giant zombie attacking a tower. And a lot of people look at this and they're just like, oh geez, that's one of the worst things I've ever seen. And that's one of those compliments that I can take with high praise because it was meant to look pretty bad. Unlike the next build here, which was I can't look at this thing without laughing a little bit. It's the horse-a-lot. So the horse-a-lot or the llama, or people have had a lot of names for it, but there's no correct name for this kind of weird nature thing, was basically an idea I had because I was building a giant horse, because I think I was making a video on horses and I wanted one in the background. So I built a giant horse and I was like, okay then, so we've got a giant horse, but I don't really know how to finish up the neck. And then I figured, you know what, since we're having problems with the neck anyway, why not make it a cross between a horse and something else? So I made it a cross between a horse and an ocelot, so this is close to an ocelot face, like if I actually show you one. Or in fact, just look at my face. So we take off this helmet here, you can actually see it's actually kind of my face, but because it's on a horse, it looks like the most ridiculous thing ever. And a lot of people have just commented like, this is the most humanly, you know, the worst humanly looking thing I've ever seen. And I'll have to agree, this is you know, it actually looks pretty good. Like I really like the way that, you know, the horse saddle looks and the splodges and stuff. I was really proud of how I did this, but something about putting an ocelot head on a horse body gives you the worst freak of nature you've ever seen. And pro tip for anyone out there that I don't know if this is a job, but if you have a job that is just combining animals, that's gotta be a fun job, right? But if you have one of those jobs, never do it with a horse and a cat. You get this monstrosity, and yeah, so that's that. So let's move on to the final one here, and this is one that I didn't even realize what was going on until afterwards. I thought I was making something that actually made sense and was relevant to the video, but if you look at my video on the history of Herobrine, 99% of the comments aren't on, you know, the history of Herobrine I was talking about. Instead, 99% of the comments are on this thing I built during the video. So again, I swear I was going for a Herobrine look. I built a Herobrine skull. I think I did a pretty good job on the skull itself. Like, you look, it's like, oh yeah, that's Herobrine. He's got fire in his eyes. And then I figured, you know what, I'm going to combine it with a creeper, because I think for that video it was somehow relevant. I don't know why it was relevant, but I was like, okay, combine Herobrine with a creeper. So I started to do that, except it's a creeper fish. Oh yeah, that's what it was. It was a creeper fish. So I decided to combine Herobrine with a creeper fish, and therefore we've got the Herobrine creeper fish. So the problem with making a creeper is that, you know, the bottom legs of it, if you actually look at it, they don't actually really make much sense. There's just kind of two things poking out. So if you wanted to make, you know, a fish in the same way they have fins, you'd kind of make them into diagonal poking fins like this, right? However, yeah, that's not happened here. And instead of having, you know, what was meant to be a, you know, a Herobrine creeper fish that was in the background of the video, I think it was the History of Herobrine video, instead I ended up with this. And even when I put arms on it, because I was like, okay, we're going to go into damage control mode, we're going to fix this, because I didn't realize till the comments at 99% about that. Then I went into damage control mode, I was like, okay, we can fix this, we'll put arms on it, and I've just made it worse and worse and worse. And that's when I decided, let's just stop. This is only going to get worse. Let's just pretend this never happened. We're gonna stick to the story that it's a Herobrine creeper fish. But we all know what it actually looks like, and it's one of those big embarrassments that I don't know how to deal with, and that's kind of one of the inspirations behind today's video. I read one too many of those comments, and I decided, you know what, we're gonna put this one straight. It's a creeper fish, I swear. That's what it is. But yeah, I hope you did enjoy today's video. If you liked it, like it and let me know. Share it if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here. I make videos not quite like this one, but I guess about Minecraft every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe, you'll see them daily on your homepage. You can learn the story. I guess you can see the original building of a lot of the stuff in this world, like the weird NPC village. Why is there a chimney on there and a guard tower, or the giant car that I That's another terrible build. But yeah, you can unserve a lot of this stuff. And if you want to, see like more of these videos where I tour the world and tell some stories, because I've had this world for years now, and there's so many cool stories, or at least in my opinion, to do with videos on my channel. And if you want to see more of that, let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, let me know if you've ever built, something terrible like this, or let me know if you think it looks like a creeper fish. Someone has to, right? And yeah, other than that, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.